laser.
This E3 update is brought to you by Netflix.
Hey guys, Max and Tara here from E3 2013, and we just got a chance to check out Titanfall, which is the latest from Respawn Entertainment. Well, it's the thing from Respawn Entertainment.
Yeah, the big thing.
That thing.
That's the thing.
It's got those in it. Tara, what'd you think?
It's a multiplayer game.
It sure is.
Big surprise. There are definitely influences from Call of Duty there. I think that's pretty obvious. The biggest difference that I could tell during our demo, which from what I could also tell was the same one that they showed off during the E3, but the press conference rather, but it was actually being played live. The biggest difference seems to be the verticality here, right?
Because, I noticed that too.
Yeah, it's not quite on the level of a game like Tribes or PlanetSide 2 or something like that, but the Titans definitely do add a very vertical aspect to the game. It's still very fast-paced. You know, they said when they first revealed the game, they want this to be more open to newcomers, and they want, you know, bigger maps, and that's supposed to help out with that. But the thing to understand here is that it is still very much a fast-paced multiplayer game.
It has a very, you can see the Call of Duty DNA there. It's like they took big Call of Duty and then put little Call of Duty inside it. You know, you've kind of got, I mean, that's one of the dumbest sentences I've said during E3. It also has obviously, like Tribes Ascend and Hawken had a baby, or it got in a fight, whichever. I mean, you've got the jetpacks on the ground forces. And they also can wall run, which looks really cool. That was one thing that jumped out at me.
Yeah, you can double jump, you can wall run. The environment is clearly set up to support that type of movement.
The level design is looking. You know, you say verticality, but it was noticeably more of a. It was a really good sense of vertical scale. You know. You know, you're not going to get fall damage here, I don't think. I think it's much more about just moving fast and kind of thinking in another dimension there.
Yeah,
really.
and you do generally get that large scale sense just by looking at the sky and stuff. You know, like when they were playing, there were giant like airships falling to the ground and stuff. Like,
I mean, there's a lot going on.
It's a beautiful looking game. The Titans definitely seem like they're going to be the coolest part. Obviously, I mean, why would you expect otherwise? They have rocket launchers.
Yeah.
It looks like you can take over a Titan, but you can also just sort of hitch a ride on it if you want.
Yeah, I was really into that. I mean, the fact that you kind of get like a new Titan spawning, I guess, every certain time period. So you know, and then because they are going to periodically get blown up by
and then
each other.
I think you have to wait. It's either 1 or 2 minutes for it to rebuild.
Yeah. But then I guess it's kind of first come first serve. Whoever wants to hop in and fly it around. The thing that I love is you got the option to eject, which I think is such a nice touch.
Yeah, and when you do that, you'll just like fly straight up in the air.
And you've got a jetpack, so it's not really the end of the world. You can actually kind of bunny hop on top of another Titan. One thing I saw, I'm not sure how they did this exactly, but apparently you could basically, as a ground soldier, sort of melee a Titan.
Yeah.
Like you could rip off a panel and just shoot it in the oscillator gyrometer or something, whatever they had, some tracking computer, just like shooting it in the brain basically.
Yeah, and you can do that on ground combat too, from like guy to guy, and it seems based on what they were playing like it was a one-hit melee kill, which I thought was kind of interesting because they were like, oh, you won't die as often as you will in Call of Duty, but here's
ridiculously fast-paced.
Yeah, it really is. They said they want to incorporate a lot of single-player elements into the multiplayer game. You definitely get that sense. It started off with a cutscene where you're jumping out, of a ship, and then you get back in the ship at the end. But there's always people up in the right-hand corner talking to you as you're playing. Yeah. You do get that sense almost like you are in a campaign. But the fast-pacedness, which is a word that I just made up, of multiplayer. So
I'm wondering if they're gonna. I think that the story is going to be woven kind of into it. I think this is very much seems to be the trend here at E3 this year. Is that games that are kind of, they're not single or multiplayer. They're sort of just it's woven together.
All lines are blended now, pretty much.
What did you think of this as a next gen title? Obviously, it's coming to 360 as well, but it is primarily an Xbox One. It's not quite a launch title, but what did you make of it?
Obviously, the game looks great. I'm not sure if our demo was being played on Xbox One or PC. I would imagine it was being played on PC, but I mean, it looks gorgeous. Just seeing everything happen around you in the sky, and you definitely get that large world sense. So
I think it's interesting that EA's got this as well as Battlefield 4, and Activision's they've got Destiny, and Call of Duty obviously, but it's like this seems very much more like they're like, okay, we got Battlefield and we've got this.
Yeah.
And this is their fast pace, like really just kind of body count, instant kill kind of thing. It's much more arcadey than, but at the same time I was kind of almost underwhelmed in terms of how much new stuff it was doing. It seems like it's more just putting a lot of familiar stuff in one place. That's still really cool, but I don't know. I'm not sold yet. I'm really curious to see if it catches on, you know?
It's hard to look at a demo like this with people who are really, really good at multiplayer games until you actually get your hands on it yourself. So
yeah, they might totally blow us away and have an incredible storyline. I like the art direction for sure, and it's nice to see something that isn't just a straight-laced military shooter. It's also it's got big damn robots in it and jetpacks, so I can't complain about that.
That's true. That is true.
Anyway,
we love the jetpack.
Yeah.
All of us.
This was just one of the many games that we got to check out at E3. We've got more videos going up. You should stay tuned right here to Rev3 Games because we will continue to make these videos until this trade show is over and we get to go home.
And until sleep. The end of time.
Hey guys, I know we all love games, but guess what? Movies are great too, and with Netflix you can watch tons of them for super cheap from the comfort of your home computer or console. They've also got a bunch of TV shows like the 4th season of Arrested Development, which is only available to watch on Netflix. Just hit up netflix.com/revision3 and we'll hook you up with a free trial, and remember, every sign up helps support this year's E3 coverage.